Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see the detailed report. We have the Honorable Chief Minister who is coming to the event.
But it's a very, very important program. It's happening right next to the Secretariat, and it is the inauguration of the first multi-level car park in Meghalaya. So this is in some sense a landmark thing, because we are trying to do a number of multi-level car parks, and at least we have been able to do the first one, and the first one that too right in the heart of the city next to the Secretariat. And I want to extend my sense of gratitude and thanks and welcome all in one breath to our Honorable Chief Minister, who is our chief guest for today, who is the force behind all these wonderful projects that are happening around the state. I mean, a little story of the background of this project is that, we are taking up the smart city. I keep telling my team, unfortunately, smart city gets many times negative publicity in the media. There are articles written that smart city, nothing has been achieved, or why, even though there is smart city, why there is so much of traffic and all. I just want to put all this in a little bit of context in the background of, against the background of this project. So obviously we know in Shillong there are a lot of challenges in the urbanization. There is traffic, there are parking challenges, there are the challenges of hawkers, there is the challenge of urban amenities, there is the challenge of green spaces. All these things are there, and Smart City project came in. Shillong Smart City was the last city, the 100th city to be chosen. That also again credit to our Honorable Chief Minister. After the Smart City project was launched, for about 2 years, Government of India was asking us whether Shillong you want to take part or not. So we could not give a decision, because Smart City is a 50-50% project. Because all projects of Government of India are 90-10 for Northeast. So they are 10% we give and 90% Government of India gives. But Smart City was 50-50. So then the government was not able to make a decision. Then I think one of the first decisions sir made as Chief Minister of the state was that it's okay, we will pay the 50%, but we will take this money, because this is 500 crore project that Government of India is willing to give, and state should be willing to put money. And Shillong is so important. Shillong is the capital, Shillong is the growth hub, Shillong is where many of the jobs will be created. So with all that, I think one of the first decisions that was taken in 2018 was that Shillong will join the Smart City Club. So once the state government gave this commitment, then we became the 100th Smart City. And of course we have identified a number of projects, and let me say that a number of projects that we identified and are implementing in the Smart City are very complex projects. You all know, I think, the kind of, we are trying to do an MLCP in Motham. We are doing the Lankra market. We are doing, passing the markets in Bada Bazaar. So we are doing the Polo market. We just inaugurated the Polo Mall. So these are very complex projects. These involve relocation of people, finding alternate locations for people. So there are so many complexities. That is the reason why these projects have taken a little longer than expected. But I'm very happy that the flagship projects of the Smart City, the ICCC, the Polo Mall are already inaugurated, and also other projects like the solar panels project, the water harvesting projects. All these projects are inaugurated and they are functional. And today we are at this MLCP project, the Multilevel Car Parking project. So which is a project that is outside the list of projects of the Government of India. It's a completely state-funded project. So because Smart City was doing so well, and there is enough capacity in the Smart City company, so the state government decided that such projects which require a lot of engineering expertise and all should be done through the Smart City. And a state-funded project was sanctioned, and this land was identified because it's right next to the Secretariat. And I think we can see so clearly the importance of this project. So many cars are parked there. So all those cars should come here, and that space should be ideally earmarked for pedestrians, so that people are all able to walk in the space where cars are parked. So I think that's the immediate solution, problem this is going to solve. So I just want to conclude and summarize that Smart City has achieved many of the objectives that it was set to achieve. There has been some delays, but it's a continuous work. We will continue to implement and complete all the projects, the few that are still ongoing, and this is a testament The ICCC, again the Polo Mall, all are testaments to the capability of the state government and the smart city company to be able to execute projects. So, and we are going to do many more projects under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister. Our Honorable Urban Affairs Minister unfortunately is not here, he had to go out of station. But I think under the leadership of our CM and our Minister, we are able to achieve all these things, and we seek the support and cooperation of everybody.
Indeed is a memorable and a very, I should say, a historic day, especially for the citizens of our capital, Shillong city. We all know that if you go through social media, if you ask people, everybody will tell you that why the biggest problem that we face is, apart from many other problems, is the congestion and the traffic problem in Shillong. And whoever I meet, especially officials who come from outside, people who come from outside, you know, the first thing they tell me is, why aren't you doing something about the traffic? So this is a common thing that we have all gone through and we all go through every day. But most don't understand that the problem is quite evident in front of us, but the solution is not very simple. Where do we start? What do we do? We can't just simply reduce the cars, we can't simply just expand the road. So we have to work within a limited constraint, conditions, whatever the different aspects are there within the city which are limited in nature. And therefore all these challenges came in front of us. So a multi-pronged strategy was developed to slowly and steadily decongest the city. Of course, first aspect was to figure out what really is the problem. Again, I repeat myself and I always tell people this issue and this thought process, which is very important for especially people like me who have to work with governance and resolving problems, and of course the whole team, is that we always look at a problem, we look at what's happening and we think that the reason why it's happening is because there's too much of traffic. But we don't realize that traffic is the outcome or the result of the problems. So what is important for us is to figure out what those problems are that leads to traffic. And hence a lot of things were looked into. I don't want to go into detail and bore you with all those long-term plans we had and discussions we had. But what we're seeing today is just one of the pieces of the solution. And therefore we have a very, very long way to go. But what I'm trying to tell you is that we have a plan. There's a master plan, there's a much broader thought process, and it's not just this one parking lot. There are about 9 or 10 of them, close to about 1,371, if I'm not wrong, parking spaces for vehicles will be created. And apart from that, of course, we have also created parking in terms of a parking policy where any individual who has land and wishes to partner with the government will support and fund them and let them collect parking amounts from that land of theirs with government investment, and government will get a small share. So multiple aspects of parking are being looked into, because we realize that one of the first problems is that people park randomly. People park in places where the flow of the traffic is stopped. And if you tell the people that you can't park, you cannot, and we charge them or we fine them, then the first question they will ask, well, where do we park them? So therefore all of these are connected. Now that we have spaces for parking, the enforcement of ensuring that people cannot park in certain areas can be enforced. And that's what administration and police, and especially traffic, will have to do their role to ensure that the enforcement is done. Otherwise, this will make no sense. It will collect dust. So therefore, it's a process which is started. Don't expect that tomorrow traffic jam will be gone just because one parking lot has come. This is a long process, but just to share with you, multiple aspects are being done. Whether you talk of these parking areas being created, whether you talk of space being created in Kindailat area so that we have more space for the buses and the taxis that park out there so they don't park on the main road, whether it is the hawkers who sometimes are on the road and are congesting the main road where traffic moves, and hence we have to shift them. That itself, as you know, is a very, very complicated process. Whether it is expansion of the roads going all the way from Umshirpi up to 7th Mile, and then now the project of having either an elevated road or a 4-lane that will connect from the Rhino Museum Point, the Umshirpi Bridge, that junction, all the way till Civil Hospital and up to Barak. So the proposal is already ready. There are one or two aspects which we are still working on. As you know, we have to take all the stakeholders into confidence, be it the NHIDCL, be it MORT, or be it the Army. There's a lot of work to be done there. But the proposal is at a very advanced stage. And hence you can imagine all these bottlenecks which are there, once they are cleared. So you can imagine if there's an elevated road or a 4-lane that will come from Anjali Point all the way to Civil Hospital. As I said, either elevated or 4-lane. We are working on both options. Negotiations are on with the Army, so we are waiting for a final call. But what I'm saying is that all of these things are being looked into, whether the fact that we'll be shifting our administration away from the city here and going to the new administrative city, and ensuring that the connectivity that is there to the new city also is done in a way that we look at next 50 years and 100 years in terms of traffic movement, so that there is an ease of flow of traffic to the new city and new administrative city. So there's a lot of large-scale planning. I don't want to go into all of that, but the reason I'm sharing that with you is for you to understand that this is not just a project on its own. It's a part of a much larger plan and a much larger solution that we're working on, and things will take time, but we have made a start, and this is really, really satisfying. Shifting out of the current space and moving majority, if not all, at least 50% of our administration to the new city. I think you will remember today and remember that day, and be able to link this entire process and phase in which we were able to decongest Shillong, we were able to improve the overall traffic, parking, amenities, so on and so forth. So therefore, friends, I will not take too much time, but I must put on record my sincere thanks and gratitude to the Urban Affairs Department. This would not have happened if the team had not worked. The Smart City team, you have really put in a lot of hard work, and I think in record time, in terms of construction, this has come up. We can all see that it's a very, very technologically sophisticated piece of project, and therefore it was not easy. So therefore all the people who are involved in making this happen, I congratulate all of you. But last and not the least, I once again would urge the administration and the traffic and the police that they must ensure that now that this parking facility is available, and as I said, we'll be having many more, about close to 8, 9 of them are coming up, we should ensure that no more of these parkings are there on the road. We'll be shifting this to these areas, and as mentioned by Dr. Vijay, we'll convert them into walking zones, maybe even cycling zones. Wherever we can get space, we'd like to do that, because we have always stressed on the fact that Shillong is a walkable city. You don't need to actually use the vehicle everywhere. So if walking facilities are created, spaces are created, I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people who will prefer walking, and obviously for health reasons also it's something that we'd like to promote. So once again, I congratulate everyone and wish this project the very best. And once again, thank the team that is behind making this project a reality. I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much. Mulai Shibun, Mutela, and Jai.
Yeah, मीडिया के लिए ओके